The night sky over Ukraine erupted in fire and chaos, a massive, coordinated assault unlike any before. Sirens wailed across Kyiv, Lviv, and Odessa as Russia unleashed one of its largest drone and missile barrages since the war began. The Kremlin's goal: overwhelm Ukraine's defenses, cripple infrastructure, and break the nation's spirit. But Ukraine's defenders responded with unprecedented success. Headlines blared: Ukraine downs 90% of Russian attack, Kyiv's shield holds firm. The world watched as Ukraine's air defense faced its toughest test yet. Explosions from intercepted missiles lit up the night, each flash a small victory. The attack was designed to find and exploit weaknesses, but the shield held. This was a testament to the defenders' courage and the power of their technology. The assault marked a major escalation, signaling Moscow's willingness to intensify its air campaign. Russia launched a complex mix of Shahed drones, cruise, and ballistic missiles from multiple directions to saturate Ukrainian defenses. The psychological impact was immense, millions forced into shelters, lives disrupted, fear spreading. Yet Ukraine's response was equally powerful, a strategic and symbolic victory. With international support, Ukraine has built a formidable integrated air defense network. The high interception rate sent a clear message: Ukraine is not defenseless. The country can and will protect its skies. This night of fire and fury marked the start of a new, more intense phase of the air war. The Russian attack began just after midnight, maximizing terror and confusion. Waves of drones and missiles launched from Crimea, Belarus, and Russia itself. Over 150 drones and dozens of missiles in total. The primary weapons, Iranian-designed Shahed drones, sent in swarms to overwhelm defenses. Their approach became a harbinger of destruction for civilians below. This was a meticulously planned operation, not chaos. Flight paths were plotted to avoid air defenses and strike from multiple angles. Some missiles flew low, others high, complicating interception. Targets included military sites and, crucially, civilian infrastructure, power stations and heating plants as winter loomed. The timing followed a lull, suggesting Russia had stockpiled munitions for a decisive blow. The psychological dimension was clear: sow panic, wear down resistance, and make life unbearable for Ukrainians. Every siren, every night in a shelter, is a weapon in this war. This is modern terror bombing, war waged on both the battlefield and the minds of civilians. Ukraine's 90% interception rate was no accident. It was the result of a multi-layered Western-backed air defense system. At its core, American Patriots and German Iris-Ts, intercepting high-speed threats, cheaper, mobile solutions like Gepard anti-aircraft guns, and pickup-mounted fire teams hunted drones. The real genius integrating all these systems into a single, real-time network. Radar, satellite intel, and civilian apps fed into a central command, mapping threats and assigning the right weapon. This efficient resource allocation was critical. Ukraine's approach, combining high-end and low-cost systems, set a new standard for air defense. The night's victory was a triumph of Ukrainian ingenuity and international solidarity. Without Western tech and training, the shield would not be as strong. The message: a well-organized, tech-savvy defender can stand against a numerically superior attacker. Even with heroic defense, some missiles and drones got through, causing real suffering. In Kyiv, a missile fragment set a residential building ablaze. Emergency crews rescued many, but some were injured. Odessa's port was hit, grain storage burned, threatening both Ukraine's economy and global food supplies. Debris damaged homes, shattered windows, and killed at least one person. In Lviv, a missile strike on a substation plunged parts of the city into darkness, affecting hospitals and homes. Attacks on the power grid are a deliberate strategy to freeze civilians into submission as winter nears. The loss of electricity means no heat, water, or communication. Dozens were injured, several killed, but the impact goes deeper. Millions spent the night in fear, huddled in shelters. The constant threat takes a heavy toll on mental health. Children grow up to the sound of sirens. 90% of attacks may be stopped, but the scars on people and cities remain. The war's cost is measured not just in numbers, but in lives changed forever. In Moscow, state media spun a different story. Russian TV declared all targets hit, showing explosions as proof of precision strikes. Civilian casualties were dismissed as Ukrainian propaganda. The Kremlin claimed the barrage was a righteous response to terrorist attacks by Kyiv. No mention of the 90% interception rate, only victory and competence. This denial is key to maintaining public support and projecting strength. Behind the scenes, the high failure rate is a serious concern for Russian military planners. Each downed missile is a costly loss, unsustainable over time. Western analysts believe Russia will have to rethink its tactics. The public narrative of victory masks a private reality of strategic setback. With independent media silenced, most Russians hear only the official story. The Kremlin's tale of victory, however divorced from reality, remains a powerful tool for control. Ukraine responded swiftly and strategically. Within 24 hours, Ukrainian forces struck deep inside Russia, targeting key assets, not civilians. The most significant, a strike on a major power plant in Rostov, causing a regional blackout. The message, attack our grid, and we'll hit yours. Long-range drones hit an oil refinery and 2 apps, disrupting fuel supplies to the Russian military. Another strike targeted a drone factory in Yelabuga, over 200 kilometers from Ukraine. These attacks show Ukraine's leap in long-range strike capability. Each hit on a refinery or factory directly impacts Russia's war effort. The strikes are part of a coherent strategy, degrade Russia's ability to wage war. By targeting energy and weapons production, Ukraine imposes real costs on the Kremlin. The war is no longer confined to Ukrainian soil. Ukraine is now capable of taking the fight to the aggressor's heartland. The strike on Rostov's power plant plunged a major Russian city into darkness. Russian officials downplayed the incident, but social media showed the truth. A massive explosion and blackout. For the first time, Russian civilians experienced the chaos Ukrainians know well. The psychological impact was profound. A crack in the Kremlin's image of distant war. Strikes on the 2 apps refinery and Yelabuga drone factory disrupted fuel and drone production. These attacks create logistical nightmares for the Russian military and economic losses for the state. Every day a factory is down, fewer drones are built for Russia's air campaign. Ukraine is systematically targeting the critical nodes of Russia's war machine. The darkness in Rostov was both literal and symbolic. The war now casts its shadow over Russia itself. The strikes demonstrate Ukraine's sophisticated understanding of Russia's military-industrial complex. This is not random revenge, it's strategic, targeted, and effective. The war's front lines are shifting, and so is its psychological impact. Ukraine's ability to strike over 200 kilometers inside Russia marks a new phase of the war. This is deep strike doctrine in action, a shift from defense to holding Russian territory at risk. New domestically produced long-range drones make this possible. Ukrainian engineers have created weapons that fly far, hit hard, and evade Russian defenses. The psychological and strategic impact is huge. Russia's rear is no longer safe. Moscow must now redeploy air defenses away from the front, stretching resources thin. This changes the political calculus. Ukraine gains leverage by inflicting direct costs on Russia. The message: there are no safe havens. The war will not be confined to Ukraine. This forces tough conversations in the Kremlin about the true cost of invasion. Ukraine's deep strike capability is a testament to its resilience and innovation. The country is not just a recipient of aid, but an active, creative force in its own defense. The war's next phase will be defined by this growing symmetry of capabilities. The past days show a classic escalation spiral: attack, defense, counterstrike. Russia's massive air assault was met with Ukraine's improved defenses and bold strikes deep into Russia. What happens next? Moscow can de-escalate or double down. History suggests escalation is more likely. Both sides are racing to innovate. Russia tweaks drones and tactics. Ukraine upgrades defenses and develops new weapons. This is a real-time arms race, with drones, AI, and data analysis at its core. The battlefield is now a laboratory for the future of warfare. Ukraine's successes boost morale and belief in victory. Russia faces doubt and dissent. The Kremlin's narrative of easy victory is harder to sustain as the war comes home. The conflict is now about technology, logistics, and willpower, not just territory. The escalation is a sobering reminder. This war is far from over. Both sides are adapting, and the stakes keep rising. Only clear-eyed analysis can help us understand where this tragic conflict is headed.